All right, let's get into it. Today we're going to tackle a massive challenge that pretty much every business faces. How do you take all that scattered, messy data you have and turn it into an actual superpower? We're going to use some advanced SQL to build a bridge from total data chaos to some seriously clear insights.
So tell me if this sounds familiar. You know the information you need is somewhere in the company database, but it's split across a dozen different tables, maybe even different systems, and getting them all to talk to each other feels, well, impossible. Your data is basically trapped in these little prisons we call silos.
Okay, let's make this real. Here we've got 4 totally separate tables. One for client info, one for car details, another for claim records, and a last one for addresses. Now, each one of these tells a little piece of the story, but since they're not connected, we can't see the whole picture. They're related, sure, but right now, they're just islands of information.
So our mission today is pretty simple, but it's really powerful. We are going to smash down those silo walls. We're going to take these 4 separate pieces and weave them together into one single unified master report where everything you need to know is in one place.
So how in the world do we connect these islands of data? Well, our first tool is one of the most important in all of SQL, the join. I want you to think of joins as the bridges we're going to build between our tables.
Let's use a little story to make this super clear. Imagine you're at a party, right? Your client table, that's your guest list. And your claim table, that's a list of all the gifts that people brought. A join is just the simple act of matching the person on the guest list to the gift they brought. That's it.
Now, there are a few different kinds of joins. Let's look at the 2 most common ones. An inner join is kind of strict. It only gives you results where there's a match in both tables. So in our party, that's only the guests who actually brought a gift. But a left join is way more inclusive. It gives you everyone from the guest list, and if someone didn't bring a gift, that spot is just left blank or null. Super useful if you want to see who you need to chase down for a gift next.
For our master report, we only want the complete picture. We only care about records where a claim actually exists. So, for that reason, we're going to use a series of inner joins to link everything together. We'll connect the claim to the car to the client, and the client to their address, creating one long, beautiful chain of data.
Awesome. Our data is all connected, but we're not done. A giant table of raw data isn't really the goal. How do we find the really important patterns hidden inside it without losing all the crucial details? This is where a seriously powerful tool called window functions comes into play.
Think about a standard group by query. It's kind of like saying the average height in this class is 5'8". Okay, that's interesting, I guess, but you've lost all the individuals. You have no idea who's the tallest or who's the shortest anymore.
And this is the magic of window functions. They let you do calculations across a set of rows. That's our window, but they keep all the individual rows right where they are. It's like walking down the line of students and giving each one a rank, from tallest to shortest. You get the big picture context without losing any of the individual detail. It's so cool.
Okay, check this out. On the left, we've got a simple list of claims, pretty standard. But look at the right. After we apply a window function, notice that new rank column. The query has looked at each car type separately, it's partitioned by car type, and then it ranked the claims by amount. Just like that, we can see the most expensive claim, the second, and so on for every single type of car.
I mean, this is a total game changer. All of a sudden, you can ask and answer much smarter questions. We can immediately spot our heavy hitters. The most expensive claims for SUVs, or for sedans, or for trucks. This is how you go from just looking at data to building an actual strategy. Okay, so our query is getting really powerful. We're joining tables, we're running complex rankings, but let's be honest, it's also starting to look like a long, tangled mess that's hard to read. Our final tool is all about taming that complexity. They're called Common Table Expressions, or CTEs for short. And I absolutely love this analogy. Writing a complex query can feel like trying to cook a complicated dinner with all the steps just floating around in your head. A CTE is like writing down each step of the recipe before you start. It breaks the logic down into these clean, manageable chunks that anyone can understand.
And it really is this simple. Step 1, you use the with clause to define your recipe. That's your temporary named chunk of data. Then step 2, you cook the meal by writing your final select query that just refers back to that neat pre-prepared step. It's simple, it's clean, it's logical.
This is exactly why developers are obsessed with CTEs. They just untangle complex logic. Your code becomes so much easier to read, and if something breaks, it's way easier to debug because you can test each little recipe step by itself. You can even reuse those steps over and over in the same query. It's fantastic.
So, we've built our bridges with joins, we've found the hidden patterns with window functions, and we've cleaned up our messy logic with CTEs. Now, let's see the payoff when we put it all together.
And here it is, our master report. Just look at that. You've got the client's name, their car type, what city they're in, the claim amount, everything, all in one clean, easy-to-read view. This isn't just a table anymore. It's the complete story for every single claim, ready to go.
So think about where we started. What began as 4 separate, disconnected tables has been totally transformed. By combining these 3 powerful SQL techniques, you've turned a chaotic data mess into a seriously valuable strategic asset that can drive real business decisions. So, you've done it. You've built the master report and unlocked a whole new level of insight. The only question left is, now that you have this power, what other business mysteries are you going to solve next?